October 24th, 1942. Guadalcanal in the South Pacific. The jungle erupts in chaos. Thousands of Japanese soldiers pour through the darkness, screaming, charging directly into American machine gun positions. The Henderson Field perimeter, the entire Pacific campaign, hangs by a thread. Sergeant John Basilone surveys the devastation. His entire section, 15 men, has been wiped out. Machine guns destroyed. Ammunition running low. Only 2 men still able to fight. The Japanese are regrouping for another assault, minutes away. What happens next defies belief. One Marine sergeant, against impossible odds, will hold an entire sector alone. Moving guns under fire, repairing weapons in darkness, manning positions by himself, fighting through the longest night of the Pacific War. By dawn, the Japanese assault will be broken, the perimeter will hold, and John Basilone will become a legend. But this is not where his story ends. Because after receiving the Medal of Honor, after becoming a national hero, Basilone will make a choice that changes everything. This is the story of the only enlisted Marine in history to receive both the Medal of Honor and the Navy Cross. A man who refused to stop fighting, even when it cost him everything. August 1942. The United States launches its first major offensive of the Pacific War. The target, Guadalcanal. A tiny island with a strategic airstrip that could control the entire Solomon Islands chain. The Marines take Henderson Field, but now they must hold it. Sergeant John Basilone commands a machine gun section on the perimeter. 15 men, 3 heavy machine guns, defending a critical sector near the Lunga River. The Japanese plan is simple and brutal. On October 24th, they will launch a massive night assault. 3,000 soldiers, wave after wave, overwhelm the Americans through sheer numbers. The assault begins at nightfall. Artillery hammers the Marine positions. Then comes the charge. Thousands of screaming soldiers emerging from the jungle darkness. Basilone's machine guns open fire. Tracer rounds cutting through the night. The Japanese keep coming. Then disaster. Artillery strikes directly on Basilone's positions. 1 gun destroyed, another damaged. Men killed instantly. The few survivors wounded, unable to fight. Within minutes, Basilone's entire section has been wiped out. Only 2 men remain combat effective, and the Japanese are regrouping for another assault. The perimeter is breaking. If this sector falls, the Japanese will pour through. Henderson Field will be lost. The entire Guadalcanal campaign hangs in the balance. 3 men, 2 working machine guns, against thousands. Military doctrine is clear. Fall back. Consolidate with other units. Abandon the position. But Basilone knows what that means. This sector is the weak point. If they retreat, Japanese forces pour through. Henderson Field falls. He makes a decision that seems suicidal. They're going to hold. Not just hold. Counterattack. Move the remaining guns. Repair the damaged weapon. Man the positions themselves. His men think he's lost his mind. Moving 90-pound machine guns under fire. Through jungle undergrowth. In complete darkness. With the Japanese 50 yards away. It's impossible. But Basilone served in the army before the Marines, stationed in the Philippines, where he earned his nickname, Manila John. He learned machine guns inside and out, can field strip and repair them in total darkness. While one Marine maintains suppressing fire, Basilone goes to work, finds the damaged gun. The recoil mechanism is jammed. In darkness, by feel alone, he disassembles it. Clears the jam, reassembles it. The gun is back in action. Then he does something even more audacious. Takes the 3rd gun, the spare, and maneuvers it to a flanking position. Creates a crossfire. 3 guns. 3 Marines. Basilone running between all positions. The Japanese have no idea what's waiting for them. The Japanese assault has paused. Temporary. They're regrouping, bringing up reinforcements. The next wave will be even larger. Basilone uses every second. Ammunition. That's the key. Heavy machine guns consume ammunition at terrifying rates, 600 rounds per minute. His men are already running low. Basilone makes repeated trips through the jungle darkness to the supply dump, carrying ammunition cans, 35 pounds each, 2 at a time, trip after trip, building ammunition stockpiles at each gun position, enough to sustain continuous fire. While his 2 Marines rest, Basilone fine-tunes the positions, adjusts guns for overlapping fields of fire, clears undergrowth, sets up white phosphorus markers to mark distances. Every detail matters. In the Japanese lines, commanders are confident. They've seen the explosions, heard the guns fall silent. The next assault will break through easily. They're massing even more troops. This will be a human wave. Unstoppable. Basilone hears them assembling. Movement in the jungle. Voices. Equipment. He returns to his gun, checks the ammunition belt, tests the traversing mechanism, sets the range. 2 a.m., the darkest part of the night. The Japanese attack begins. They come in a human wave. Hundreds of Japanese soldiers screaming, bayonets fixed, charging straight into Basilone's positions. The machine guns erupt. Basilone doesn't spray wildly. He fires in precise 6 to 9 round bursts, conserving ammunition while maintaining devastating firepower. The Japanese front ranks go down, but they keep coming. Belt empty. Basilone reloads without looking down. His hands know every movement. New belt in. Charging handle. Back on target. 3 seconds. Firing resumes. The Japanese concentrate on one position. Basilone sprints to the second gun, opens fire from a different angle. The Japanese wheel toward this threat. He's back at the first gun before they can react. 3 guns. 1 man running between all of them. The Japanese think they're facing a full platoon. The barrel is overheating, glowing red hot. Basilone can't stop to change it. There's no time. He uses his bare hands, burned and blistered, wrapping fabric around scorching metal to keep firing. Ammunition is running out. In the middle of the assault. Basilone doesn't hesitate. He leaves the gun and sprints back to the supply dump, through Japanese soldiers, in complete darkness. Returns with ammunition cans. Still firing. The Japanese cannot break through. Every assault shatters against Basilone's machine guns. They try flanking. They try frontal charges. They try infiltration. Nothing works. For 2 hours straight, Basilone holds the line alone. Dawn comes slowly. The gunfire stops. The Japanese assault has broken. They're withdrawing into the jungle. The perimeter has held. Basilone remains at his position. Hands burned from the overheated barrel. The machine gun barrel is warped beyond use, completely destroyed from continuous firing. But the line held. When reinforcements arrive, they cannot believe what they see. The ground in front of Basilone's position is covered with Japanese dead. Hundreds of them. 3 men, led by 1 sergeant, held off multiple regiment-strength assaults, all night, alone. The evidence tells the story. Over 38 ammunition cans fired, thousands of rounds, gun barrels destroyed from heat. One officer later writes, "His actions were the difference between victory and defeat." On May 21, 1943, Sergeant John Basilone receives the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For extraordinary heroism, moving an extra gun into position, he placed it in action. Then, under continual fire, repaired another and personally manned it, holding his line until replacements arrived. He becomes a national hero, sent home for war bond tours, marriage to Lena May Riggy. He's earned his ticket out of combat, safe, celebrated, alive." But Manila John has never been the kind of man who stays safe. When he hears about the upcoming invasion of Iwo Jima, Basilone makes a request. He wants to return to combat. February 19, 1945. D-Day at Iwo Jima. Gunnery Sergeant John Basilone hits the beach in the first assault wave. He's a platoon leader now, responsible for the lives of men. Basilone's unit lands in front of Japanese pillboxes. The beach is a killing zone. Marines are pinned down, unable to advance. Once again, Basilone refuses to stay down. He leads his platoon off the beach, attacking pillboxes directly, moving under fire. His leadership gets Marines moving inland. Then a Japanese mortar round lands on his position. John Basilone is killed instantly. February 19, 1945, the first day of Iwo Jima. For his actions, Basilone receives the Navy Cross posthumously. He becomes the only enlisted Marine in history to receive both the Medal of Honor and the Navy Cross. His legacy lives in Marines who refuse to quit when the situation is impossible, who hold the line when everything says retreat, who lead from the front. John Basilone never stopped fighting, even when it cost him everything. That's what it means to be a Marine.